when we lost my grandpa and then a couple years later my grandma and then my uncle, it almost felt like I lost half of the people that I'm used to spending the holidays with. I'm trying to lean a little bit more into starting our own traditions so that I'm not just focused on they have to look exactly how it looked when I was a child. Hi, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Felicia, and on my channel, I document my journey through life as a Christian wife, homemaker, seasoned entrepreneur, and future mom. In today's video, I wanted to expound on something that I talked about in one of my recent videos. I was talking about how I love the holidays. Holidays are my favorite, but they can be pretty difficult. And really up until about a year ago, they were pretty difficult for me for the last couple of years, but I've really tried to just change how I look at it, change my mindset about it. So I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that today. But like I said, holidays are my absolute favorite, especially Christmas. As a child, I always really looked forward to Christmas. As a child, I loved the gifts, but I loved the food. I loved family. And over the years, things change. So in my last video, I talked about how I lost my grandma and my uncle one day apart from another. And that made the holidays really hard for me. And how also just getting used to new traditions, like even being married. Well, now you're with someone else and then you're merging your traditions and your families and things that you're used to. So sometimes it can be difficult just adjusting to a new routine, a new tradition for the holidays. And I also touched on how when you're trying to conceive, the holidays can be difficult, whether that's family members asking you about, when are you going to have children or things like that. And saying how luckily our family doesn't really ask that, or that's not really a thing. But what was difficult for me was just my own thoughts and my own feelings about the holidays and just feeling like, oh, okay, great. Another holiday that, we don't have our own children in our home. And so, like I said, I wanted to, I guess, go a little bit deeper into those things. So the first one being how traditions or things change. And as a child, I was so used to either spending the holidays at my parents' house or at my paternal grandparents' house. And we did that for years. Like that was our Christmas. And then as my grandparents got older, then it was just always at my parents' house. And I have a pretty small family. So it's just mom, dad, sister, my dad's parents, and my mom's mom. And sometimes there may be like cousins or aunts or uncles here and there, but for the most part, and then also my dad's brother. But other than that, that was always our core group. And so when we lost my grandpa and then a couple years later, my grandma and then my uncle, it almost felt like I lost half of the people that I'm used to spending the holidays with. And so now you feel like the holidays just don't feel anywhere near the same. Like, of course, it's hard even if you just lose one person and you're so used to that person being there. But for me, it just felt like I said, literally half of what I was used to completely changed. So that was really hard for me for a couple of years. And then I think once I was at peace with that, it's still not easy during the holidays, and I definitely think about them, but I think I'm at peace with it and I'm okay with it. But then after that, then the next thing was me just getting used to holidays looking different than I guess what I was expecting or what I thought that they would look like. And so now we always host at our home, which is really fun and we really love to do. But we started doing that around COVID. And so there were some holidays where my parents and my family weren't in attendance. So then that felt hard for me because then that also brought up those same feelings that I had just finally moved past of feeling like, half of my family was missing for the holidays. Well, then now it felt like my whole family of origin, I guess you could say, was missing. So, like, yes, I have my husband and my husband's family, who's my family now too, but when you're just so used to doing the same tradition over and over, it can be difficult to get used to doing something else. So then I struggled with that for a couple of years. And also at that same time, then again, was the fertility piece of every holiday feeling like, okay, now I'm at peace with my grandparents and my uncle and my family not being here anymore. And now, I'm okay with things looking different. And now my house is the house that we host at. But then now you add the fertility piece of, okay, I'm fine with all of those things, but now I don't have the children that I'm asking God for. I don't have those children here in my home. So then I felt down about that for the holidays. But I've just really tried to reframe, I guess, my thoughts about it and to just try to really lean into being thankful, which I guess is also a theme for the holidays of just being thankful for everyone that we do have. I'm so thankful that I do have a husband and that we do have a home and that we can start new traditions and host our families in our home. And I'm grateful that he still has his mom and his grandparents and all of his family. I still have my parents and my sister, and that in and of itself is a blessing and is definitely more than enough to be thankful for. So that's really helped to shift my mindset about the holidays. Another thing is that I'm trying to lean a little bit more into starting our own traditions so that I'm not just focused on they have to look exactly how it looked when I was a child. So now I like how my mother-in-law, she really likes to play games. So she'll come up with different games and things that we do with our family for the holidays. And that's always something that's fun. And that's not something that I was used to doing growing up. So for us now, that's a new tradition and it's something really fun to look forward to. Also, this year is the first year that I want to try to do a themed Christmas. And so I decided that I wanted to do a 90s theme so that I can try to um, not relive, but so that I can, I guess, try to relive and remember some of the things that I did enjoy from childhood during Christmas. So for us, that looked like the JCPenney Christmas catalogs, to where we would have the JCPenney holiday catalogs and we would circle all of the toys and everything that we wanted. So I went on eBay and I found some of the old like 1995, 1992 catalogs. So I ordered those. So I'll have those on the coffee table. Another thing was those sugar cookie rolls. So it's like the big roll of sugar cookies and it has like one print all throughout. And then you just cut it into the different pieces. And every cookie is already uniform, but you don't have to decorate or do anything. Those are really big for us during the holidays. So I'll have those. My husband said that they had snow on the grass when he was growing up. So trying to do that. Still deciding on the tree. I don't know if I want like all the tinsel and the stuff that I remember from the 90s. So I'll figure that part out. But just little things that are nostalgic, I thought would be fun to do for this Christmas. I know I've seen a lot of people on like TikTok and Instagram doing a Ralph Lauren Christmas, which I do love the theme of it, but I just kind of wanted to do something different since I just kept seeing that over and over. And usually I'll do a more like neutral kind of Christmas. So I just wanted to do something that just felt like Christmas this year. And then for Thanksgiving, I guess the same thing. It always looked the same at my parents' house with the same people. And same thing, I'm just trying to lean into this year and moving forward to just be thankful. And there's no difference with the traditions for Thanksgiving this year. It's just a typical Thanksgiving dinner with the turkey and the stuffing and all of the sides. And we just all sit down and have a dinner together. So I'm still looking forward to that though. And another thing that I've realized too is just accepting that in life, things just change. Like there's different seasons and things aren't always going to look the same. And kind of like how as a child, my favorite part about Christmas was the gifts. It was the gifts and it was also seeing my family. But then as I got older, I really didn't care about the gifts, but I really cared about giving gifts. And I really love spending time with family. And now it is still like the giving, the family, and now the hosting. And then once we have children, then it will be watching them open the gifts and still giving to other family members and the hosting and all of that. So just accepting that things kind of ebb and flow and they change, and then just appreciating what once was, but then also being able to appreciate what you have now and then looking forward to whatever is to come. But other than that, I'm just really excited again for the holidays, and I didn't want to skip over that piece. Like, I talked about it very briefly in the last video, but I know that's something that is really difficult for people during the holidays. And also the fertility piece, same thing of just now I feel more at peace with that too. And how I've talked about in other videos of, when it's my time or when it's our time, it's our time. And I'm okay in this waiting season. And I don't know, I'm just going to take it holiday by holiday. And even if those thoughts or those feelings do come up, to just acknowledge it, but to continue to always go to God about it and pray about it, and to just continue to activate my faith. And other than that, yeah, I guess that's all that I can think about for now, but I didn't want to just skip past that. And I just want to, I don't know, just send my love to people right now. I know just in general in the world, there's a lot going on, and to put that on top of the holidays, or especially right now where some people don't even know if they're going to have food for the holidays. And of course, that's always been a thing, but I think in today's climate, it's even more serious than it was before. So it's definitely something that we want um, to highlight, and to, I guess, to just not skip over, to not forget that there are people that, that are in need. There are people that don't have any family at all. And so like I said, I just wanted to send my love to everyone out there. And if you are someone who doesn't have people, I guess I just encourage you to still try to find, I guess, something for the holidays. Like, I know my church this year, I saw that they are doing a Thanksgiving service and then also a Thanksgiving dinner, which I thought was really cool. And they said that they were doing it for people who don't have family. They had heard over the years where people make comments that they didn't have people to spend the holidays with and that they weren't planning on doing anything that day. So they wanted to do something for the people that don't necessarily have anywhere to go. And I thought that that was a really amazing thing to do. And so like I said, I encourage you, even if maybe you don't have people to spend it with, or if it's not family, then maybe it's friends. That's another thing that I've really grown to appreciate as I've gotten older, is also just the value of like friends or extended family members during the holidays. Growing up, it was all just immediate family members, and I was fine with that. That was all that I needed. That was fine. But I really appreciate now, like, the close friends that we have and the extended family members that also really help to make the holidays feel like the holidays again for me. So that's all that I have. But I thank you so much for taking the time to just sit down with me and chat. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, guys.